I cannot.
Do you love it?
I love it! Hi, I'm Tracee Ellis Ross, and
I'm JAWARA.
and we are gonna create something beautiful.
Beautiful updo.
Some sort of modern take on a historical something. JAWARA is not only gorgeous and gentle, he's so talented. Your ability to kind of call in the legacy of our hair and our texture and all of that and the history of that, but then also bring in your creativity and make it modern and feel so exciting is what I always love in seeing your work.
Thank you.
And I am sort of dry, but I've got leave-in conditioner in my hair.
Amazing.
And it's wet at the roots.
Definitely gonna use your texture today for sure.
I have a lot of hair and I love wearing my hair out, but the truth is, particularly as I've gotten older, I love a snatch style.
Something snatched, right?
I love it. I love to just snatch that hair up.
Hair care is extremely important before you start any hairstyling. So today, I'm gonna continue what you have been starting already.
I also love a reference. You sent me so many good ones, it was really hard to choose. But I loved that this idea allowed volume to be involved with the sculpture.
Yes, which we love.
Yeah, and I also love glamour and drama. Not in my life, but in my hair.
I started doing hair at a young age. I had an aunt that taught me how to do hair.
Wow.
So I started working in my aunt's salon. And these beautiful Black women that just love themselves and adorn themselves in these beautiful clothes and this beautiful hair.
There's also nothing better than someone touching your hair. And this is my little trick. I love to get in there at my root, almost like it's fingers. Do you remember that thing you used
The back scratch.
Exactly, that's what it's like. So now you're parting.
Parting, little braid moment in here. That's pizzazz.
When I was young, before I sort of got into caring what I looked like and all that, you know, when you're at that tender, cute age, I just wore my hair naturally. It was my natural texture. And my texture has gone through so many different phases. It was really fine and like not a lot of curls, but waves when I was young. And then I started wanting what everybody had, which was the downfall. I started going to the salon every Saturday and get my hair blown out. I beat my hair into submission and it was dry and fried and dead and tired. And so my hair started to break. And I did not do a big chop, but that was when I started to go natural. And I started to learn about my hair and gain a relationship to it. And I got really fiercely protective of my hair. I would wake up at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
And do it yourself?
Do it myself.
Wow.
All through high school, I had figured out like the humidity level changes how your hair is, what water you use. So I learned how to braid my hair. I learned all the different things. And that was when the idea for pattern came. And I started to notice that like certain products said they were for curly hair, but they didn't do anything. Certain products said they were for hydration and like deep conditioners. So I started to realize that deep conditioners were the ones that worked best for my hair.
Yeah.
I know you probably experienced this, but my big pet peeve, like the fact that it said use a dime size of conditioner,
Yeah.
I was like, okay,
No,
sure.
Not for people, not for hair.
No, not for curly, coily, and tight textures.
No.
Not gonna happen.
No.
Or as you were about to say, not for Black people.
Dime size of anything.
You gotta be kidding me. For my entire childhood, the section in the store for Black hair,
So small.
and it was the same products that my mom had access to, that I had access to, that my nieces and nephews, like it was just like,
But with all the different hair types, it just always felt
was-
unfinished, unthought of.
it was like nothing had evolved. Madam C.J. Walker, and then it just fell off. My dream has been to sort of expand the market and really help people to understand from an industry standpoint that Black hair care is not niche, that we are vast, and that we are not all the same.
Yeah. What are some of your hair heroes?
Nina Simone,
Okay.
Cicely Tyson,
Okay.
my mom.
Oh, your mom is my hair hero for sure.
The fact that she wore natural texture. You know, one of the questions I asked her, I was like, what made you know that that was a choice? You know, in the 70s and 60s, when she made that leap out of the Supreme's sort of bouffant hairstyles, she said, I don't know, I just liked it. There was no real answer. I was like, okay. Who are your hair heroes?
Your mom, Ross. My mom is a huge hair hero of mine. She's had long natural locks since before I was born.
Amazing.
And kind of like raised us to like wear natural hair as opposed to like what was being shown in school.
I hear you on that.
So there's a quick little trick that I've been using for years. I'll show you with the donut padding, just to add a little bit more volume in your hair.
Yeah.
So what I do is I cut them in half like this. If you want to like alter the shape a bit, you kind of just pull this apart,
Oh my God, that's amazing.
and then you can kind of
That's actually
reshape
really
it.
pretty.
Isn't it nice?
Yeah.
Like I would love to see a dress made out of this.
So would I. I was gonna say, we could also wrap it around.
wrap it around, right?
Yeah.
The next step is to do the roll in the back and start putting them in.
To fill the rolls.
Fill the rolls.
My regal
Fill
rolls.
the rolls. Not that you need much of it, but I'm gonna do a little back combing in the root. Just somewhere to anchor the pins.
Okay.
Because your hair has the perfect volume already for this, especially since we diffused it. Bigger or smaller?
Bigger.
Okay. I'm gonna secure these bad boys in. I'm leaving some pieces like this a bit looser so we can kind of see the texture as it's going into it.
For some reason, right now, I'm very drawn to the rockabilly, like beehive kind of thing, but doing that with texture.
I did an exhibition named Course, The Ingenuity of Black Hair. It basically was focusing on things that people normally deemed negative, and we wanted to celebrate those things. It had all these amazing pictures of black hairstyles that reminded me of times in my youth and different styles in hair. I definitely have seen some sort of a change in the fashion industry, as opposed to when I first started. I remember being backstage and no one being able to work on anyone with textured hair, black hair. There are a lot who still don't know, but I do feel like there are people making a real effort
To figure it out. Yeah.
What about in Hollywood? What would you say?
I think there's a new appreciation for authenticity. I feel like when I was younger, it was more like a fetishization, ethnic, or, you know, those words. Similar to editorial and fashion industry, there's not a lot of stylists that can do black hair and that know how to do it with variation and possibility and sort of creativity. And there is still the remnants of respectability politics that comes in terms of what hairstyles are appropriate. What feels like accessible to everybody, what people are gonna understand. In our culture, and for black women, it's such a sacred thing, particularly if you're somebody who does wear wigs or weaves or any of those things, and sort of that relationship with you and your stylist.
It's so personal.
It's so personal.
Sometimes
it's
more
so
personal
intimate.
than spouses.
It's seriously, because you know, there's a lot of people whose spouses have never seen their
real
natural hair.
Right, it's insane.
Yeah, isn't it crazy?
We're gonna do a little edge detail where we do the finishing touches. A little bit of hairspray, lock it in.
I am obsessed. Okay, I'm starting to get expression for what we're gonna call this.
Okay, what are you thinking?
There is like a rockabilly energy. I am dying.
It's an Afrobilly.
It's an Afrobilly.
Afrobilly.
Afrobilly. Oh my God, Jawara, yes! When we are done, I am going to put on a gorgeous pink dress to go with this and a lip. You need a lip. When your hair looks epic, you need a lip. Well, at least I need a lip. I love a lip. Oh my God, I'm dying.
I'm telling you, sometimes hair
Changes the whole
changes your
mood.
whole mood, changes the whole persona.
thing. Okay, let's take a look. I cannot, and the braid. The braid is what kills it. It brings it to, I gotta go look at this.
Do you love it?
I love it! This is some beautiful art right here. I'm gonna have to turn so they can see the best detail.
Yes.
What? And what and what. And nothing like every angle when you have good hair from every
All around,
angle.
right?
All around.
Well, you always have great hair.
No, I don't always have great hair. This is beyond great. I think this is what you call extraordinary. Ah, oh my gosh, unbelievable. All right, now we're gonna go put some cute on.